Casablanca is a romantic drama set during World War II, in the city of Casablanca, which is a refuge for people fleeing the war. The movie opens with the arrival of two German couriers, who have been killed and their papers stolen by the French resistance. These papers contain important transit letters that can allow the bearer to escape to Portugal and then to America. The story revolves around Blaine, an American expatriate who owns a nightclub in Casablanca, and Ilsa Lund, a woman who was once Rick's lover. Ilsa and her husband Victor Laszlo arrive in Casablanca seeking to obtain the transit papers, which they need to escape to America. Rick is initially hostile to Ilsa and Victor, but it is soon revealed that Rick and Ilsa had a passionate romance in Paris just before the war broke out. Rick was deeply in love with Ilsa, but she abandoned him without explanation. Rick has since become cynical and bitter, and he is still hurt by Ilsa's betrayal. Throughout the movie, there are several subplots involving other characters, including Rick's former lover Yvonne, a corrupt police officer named Captain Louis Renault, and various other refugees and patrons of Rick's nightclub. As the story unfolds, it becomes clear that Ilsa and Victor are in great danger. Victor is a leader of the resistance, and the local authorities are closing in on him. Ilsa begs Rick to help them obtain the transit papers, but Rick is torn between his love for Ilsa and his bitterness over her past betrayal. Meanwhile, Captain Renault becomes increasingly disillusioned with the Vichy regime and begins to question his own loyalties. He is torn between his duty as a police officer and his growing admiration for Rick's courage and integrity. As tensions mount, Rick eventually decides to help Ilsa and Victor, and he puts his own life in danger to do so. He arranges for them to obtain the transit papers and escape to America, while he remains behind in Casablanca. As Ilsa and Victor prepare to board the plane to America, Rick reveals that he still loves Ilsa and urges her to stay with him. However, Ilsa ultimately chooses to stay with Victor, and the two of them fly off into the night. In the movie's iconic final scene, Rick is left alone with Captain Renault. As they watch the plane take off, Rick delivers the famous line, "Louis, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship." Casablanca is a masterpiece of filmmaking, with stunning performances by Humphrey Bogart, Ingrid Bergman, and Claude Rains. The movie's themes of love, sacrifice, and redemption continue to resonate with audiences today, making it one of the most beloved films of all time. One of the key themes of the movie is the power of love to overcome even the most difficult circumstances. Rick and Ilsa's love is tested by the war and by their own personal struggles, but it ultimately triumphs in the end. Their love also inspires others around them, including Captain Renault, who is moved by Rick's selflessness and courage. Another theme of the movie is the importance of standing up for what is right, even in the face of danger and adversity. Rick and Victor both risk their lives to fight against the Nazis and to help others, even though they know the risks involved. Their courage and integrity inspire others to do the same, and ultimately contribute to the defeat of the Nazis. Casablanca is also a commentary on the human condition and the ways in which individuals and societies respond to the challenges of life. The characters in the movie are all struggling to survive in a world that is in turmoil, and each of them responds to these challenges in their own way. Some, like Rick, become cynical and bitter, while others, like Victor, become idealistic and committed to a cause. Captain Renault, initially motivated by personal gain, eventually finds his conscience and decides to take a stand against the Nazis. In addition to its themes, Casablanca is also a masterclass in filmmaking. The movie's visual style is iconic, with its use of shadows, smoke, and camera angles to create a sense of suspense and tension. The film's score, including the unforgettable song As Time Goes By, is one of the most famous in movie history. Overall, Casablanca is a timeless classic that has stood the test of time. Its themes of love, sacrifice, and courage continue to resonate with audiences today, and its visual style and unforgettable performances make it one of the most beloved movies of all time. If you haven't seen it yet, it's definitely worth a watch.